Singapore here with Limitless DxT coverage of Tuesday night racing at Limitless Formula Racing for round 16 of the Tuesday night championship. I'm here with Lee, of course, as usual tonight. How are you doing, Lee?
I'm alright, looking forward to this race. It always seems to put up a bit of action, to be honest. It's a good track.
It is one of the good street circuits, I do have to admit. We have got 20 drivers tonight, so 20 for Monday and for Tuesday, so a full house on both nights. And looking forward to this race, as you said, all this qualifying session to begin with anyway. Not got any drivers coming out of the garage just yet. And if they don't come out in the next few seconds, I'm going to imagine that there might be a bit of wetness in the race.
Possibly. It might look like it.
Because it happened last week, will it happen again?
Well, just gonna have to wait and find out, really.
We will
But
indeed. Well, I'll tell you what, Lee, as we're waiting, do you want to go through the championship standings quickly? As we're here?
Yep. So, your engine's getting fired up in the background there.
Yeah, they're all going out at the same time now.
We've got Dark Stomper, who's in first place on 234 points. Really stomping away with that lead there. As Tim is in second place with 126. Third place is Mars on 89, so there's a bit of a gap there. Fourth place is Judge Santi on 77. Fatality is on 74. H. Bosworth is on 70, he's in 6th place. And in 7th place on 60 is Beckett. 8th place is Gods. 9th place is Iggy. 10th place is Carol. 11th place Rab. On 26 points. 12th place, 19 points for Phoenix. 13th place, where are we? Milan, he's on 18 points. And 14th is Panda on 14 points. Also, so is Rue. So we've got Drismic in 16th on 10 points. Cons on 8 points and 17, and all on 0 points is Bugs Bunny, Luke and Mr. BP.
Well, that's very interesting. We've got a few drivers obviously starting for the first time in their full-time seats. Bugs Bunny raced last night in France in round 16 of at the front. No, sorry, round 17, wasn't it, Lee? Yeah, round 17 of the French Grand Prix, and round 16 here tonight, obviously a week behind, and he's in his full-time seat now at McLaren. We've also got Magnus, who's a new reserving for Milan Massimo in the Red Bull. Dr. Wolfang's come from Monday for the only reserve from Monday night. Tonight, Pink Spartan back again for the, he's been in quite a few times this season, 4 or 5 times, and Mr. BC taking a Racing Point seat. And not Luke Beck, who raced last week at Texas, and he's taking Veloce's seat, as Veloce's not able to participate anymore. So that's all the new drivers, I think. And of course Meep, who's our Monday night commentator, or one of our Monday night commentators, racing in the Haas. So we'll get back to the order of the daily, which is qualifying itself, and people are on laps, not set a time just yet, just trying to work out who's going to be the first man to set a time. And maybe it looks like a might be Panda, or is there a Haas ahead of him? It's Dark Stomper just ahead of him. I don't think he's on a lap, he's not, he's invalidated, so I think it will be Panda, the first man on a lap, Lee.
I've only noticed Magnus Nicolai started on the medium tyres, so has he got confused, or is this his strategy?
That's is an interesting one.
Happened across the line over 138.1.
Which was
Judge
quite...
Santi smashed that. And then Dr. Wolfgang opening Mr. BP with a 134. Todd Burnley 134.8 also.
Well, yeah, so the times are starting to rocket in now. And we'll see when more times comes in. Drismek is at the order, back of the order. Retirement from Magnus. So he's going to be starting 20th and last. That's not what you want, especially at Singapore. Phoenix setting a lap time, got a Red Bull behind him, setting a lap time of Rue. And Tim also setting a lap time, slotting in third place. Fatality coming in third place now with a 34.9. These two newbies, Lee, are up at the top of the pack at the minute. Dark Stomp is still not set his lap, of course, so we'll wait to see what he does. On board with the H. Bosworth going over the Anderson Bridge into the hairpin. Little lock up there on the left front.
I'm sorry, but I've just noticed that we've got some a bit of news here.
What's that?
I've just noticed that we have over 100 subscribers now.
Yeah, we've had that for a while, mate.
I've just noticed that.
I said it to you a while ago. No, we've had that a little while, mate. We've got a Pink Spartan coming out of the pits and Beckett. Meep Show is just coming to the end of his lap. Yellow flags in all three sectors. He comes through the final and he makes a mistake and round he goes across the line backwards. Would have got a time in there, but I don't think it will be 142.4 where he just lost all his time. He's going to have to be careful what he does here now. So he's just trying to get the car turned around, and he's done it in a pretty safe manner there as Meep. He has got a time on the board, but obviously not representative of that spin out the final corner. He was proper committed through there though, Lee. I've seen Fatality come across the line again. I think he's starting another lap.
Fatality, you say, yeah?
Yeah, Fatality was on a lap.
Yeah, he's
got a few drivers here, all in a bit of a queue, with the Alpha Tauri as well of Dr. Wolfgang. Got H. Bosworth behind them as well. And they're having just a little bit of a racing qualifying, I think, here, Lee. So we've got the top 15 who've set laps now. One out at the start of qualifying, which was Magnus in the Red Bull, so starting 20th and last on the grid for Singapore. We've got Rabbi on an out lap. We've got the Pink Spartan and Dark Stomper on a lap. We'll go with Dark Stomper as he's got his further into his lap than the Pink Spartan has, and he's down this rather short straight now. Just bear me 1 second. As he just came over the Anderson Bridge, and he's a bit tentative there into the hairpin of turn 13. And down into 14 now, and got that Mercedes on the inside, getting well out of the way there. I think that might have been Rabbi. As you go into the chicane of 16 and 17, about to go into the grandstand now at 18 and 19. With that Renault getting well out of the way. Fatality retiring from the session as he's in third place and looking pretty comfortable at the moment. He's come around the final two corners now at 23, and he comes across the line to do a 136.1. So I don't think Dark Stomper was really pushing that much, or he may have made some sort of mistake there though.
Possibly. I mean, sometimes it is quite easy to make a mistake here, but the walls, they just feel a bit intimidating sometimes. Like, you want to try and stay away from them, but you also want to try and get as close to them as possible.
Yeah, as we see, Pink Spartan come across the line, 11th fastest, 37.2. I'm going to have Beckett cross the line as well in the background, going 12th fastest, 37.3. So only a few thousandths behind, 3 thousandths behind Beckett. Behind Pink Spartan, so. As we see, Rabbi is the only man not to set a lap time now, and he is on his lap at the minute. And just coming down St Andrews Road in to turn 10 and 11 and then 12 and over the Anson Bridge into the hairpin of turn 13. Make sure not to clip that inside wall. You've got to get right over to right hand side, open up that hairpin as much as possible. Coming across the track quite shallow into turn 14. Mind the wall on the exit there. You want to push the car right out onto the exit of the circuit, which Rabbi didn't do so much there. Into the chicane here, 16 and 17, through the kink of 15 already, and down towards turn 18 and 19. This track is just relentless. There's no break at all, is there, though?
No, there isn't. It's just corner after corner, really. After turn 13 you get a wee break, and after turn 5 that's it.
As we've seen from across the line, 10th fastest, and Judge Santee was just behind him. And he went, it looks like he's actually going again, I think. He's still in hot lap mode. Looks like he is still pushing. We'll see if Dark Stomper does another lap. Got the guys at the back of the field doing their out laps. Obviously Meep making that mistake at the start of qualifying at the end of the end of his lap at turn 22. It started actually on the apex and sort of span out at the very last corner and came across the line in the wrong direction as he's coming down now to turn 14 on his out lap, and he's pushing quite hard on his out lap, which I wouldn't say was the best ideally, seeing as how relentless this track is on tyres.
Yeah, it does. This track does have a tendency to kind of shred the softs quite quickly, I would say. You can't really last long on it, I don't remember.
So we'll stay with Meep for his lap as he's the last on the leaderboard at the moment in 19th place, and the only one in the 40s for the minute. He's got a few seconds to make up on Drismic, who's on a 39 in the rain. Has started, Lee.
That was what he was pushing.
And he's invalidated.
Oh.
This could all be over for Meep in Q1. He might be starting 19th in this race as long as he tries to get back round. I don't know if he's how this rain's going to be. If it stays like this, it'll be absolutely fine, I think. But it could get heavier. So we're going to have potentially a mixed session here in qualifying. If it does get heavier than this, I wouldn't class this a mixed session just yet. It's only slight drops of rain, but I'm sure it'll probably get heavier, Lee.
Could be, just could be a light shower, but I think that's, by the looks of things, it looks like that's Q1 over with now.
Potentially, and we're seeing H. Bosworth on the lap, but as you said, these conditions are getting harder, and it's hard to tell if anyone's going to make up any time now on the circuit. It's definitely starting to look a little bit wetter now, and I was just on board with H. Bosworth, Lee, and he's been having a great run of form recently, getting himself into Q3 on very many occasions in qualifying, and today he's down in 17th. We'll see what he can do when he crosses the line. As he comes across now, stays 17th fastest, and I think the track has now got a lot slower than it was before, so that could potentially be the end of qualifying. Drismick's out on an out lap, Pink Spartan is as well, and Rue. But I have to say, Lee, I think this could be the end of qualifying for Q1 at least.
Possibly. And there's still a couple of people out, like
Meep is on a lap, to be fair, but the rain is coming down now, and I don't think he's going to improve. It is getting heavier, and Meep is struggling in these conditions. He's got a Mercedes of Drismic ahead of him, and he's really catching him up as well, and this is only going to hinder him at the end of his lap if he catches him up far too much, which is looking the case. He's doing quite well in these mixed conditions, I must say. It's a shame he wasn't able to get his laps in the dry conditions a few minutes ago, but we're seeing Drismic now getting out of the way, and fair play to him. I think he was on a lap, so he wasn't. Oh no, he wasn't actually. He was on an out lap. Maybe he should have got out of the way a lot earlier than that, actually, as we see Meep scraping the wall at turn 19. And comes across the line. He's run out of fuel at the end, and he did improve, but that would have hindered him again. There's something, a big curse on Meep for turns 22 and 23, Lee.
oh, that's unfortunate.
Sorry guys, you can just bear me a second there.
So let's see, we've got Root. No, he's not on a lap. No, that's that. But the looks that Drismic is not improving.
No, the conditions are too unstable now for him to even attempt to improve. I think this will be the end of qualifying. There is only 30 seconds to go. It's looking like Drismic is bailing into the pits. I was going to say he would have been able to do another lap if he'd have crossed the line, but it's looking like this is going to be the finishing result of Q1. So we'll just wait for Drismic to be pushed back in the garage along with Rouge, you can see in the background in the Red Bull, and we will get on with the stand-ins for Q1 and then on to Q2 itself in a couple of minutes, which will be a 15-minute session for the top 15 in just a few moments' time. Didn't think it was going to go then. And as we have the end of Q1 now, and the top three of that session was Bugs Bunny, Mars and Mr. BT. And we are losing from this session King Panda, H. Bosworth, Drismic, Meep Show and Magnus. So Lee, we're going to get into Q2 now, and we're going to obviously see what happens with these conditions and if it's going to be an intermediate tyre, and obviously we're going to have the ice cream ban as always in Tuesday night, as we do for me and Lee when we're racing in Monday night. That's very loud tonight, mate.
I was trying to mute my mic there, it just wasn't quick enough. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how the weather's going to be now. Is it going to be getting like more wet? Still raining?
It is still raining. I'm not sure what the tyre compounds is going to be now. Preferably for these drivers, it will be intermediates if it's a dry race.
Looks like it's intermediates. Oh, somebody's getting their engine revving.
There is someone already out the pits, actually, as we've got some drivers coming out. Yeah, so it's looking like intermediate conditions now, so I wonder if this will stay all the way through the rest of qualifying or if it will ease up. But it's looking very tricky conditions now. Even in the pit lane it's looking rather wet indeed.
Oh yeah, I could see it now. I'm on board with Dr. Wolfgang, who's first out on track. And you could see he's struggling a wee bit to keep the grip there.
So we'll have to see what happens with these top 15 now. Of course, crucially, this is pretty good for them, as we see Magnus lead the session.
Done.
Brilliant.
Phoenix has turned around.
Phoenix, and he's struggling in these conditions.
I mean, in all honesty, though, trying to get grip in the dry is hard enough. Let alone the wet, to be honest. So most likely, it looks like it's a dry race, judging by setups. But then again, it could just be because it's a greasy track. So let's see, Dr. Wolfgang starting lap, first one out. Stays off, the curbs around, oh, and then off on the wall at 3 there. You still there, bud?
I am still here. Sorry, I was just sending a message to Magnus. Just asked me a question. That was all.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, we'll get back to the qualifying session, or I'll get back to the qualifying session. Just being distracted for a few seconds. So, who's the first man on the lap, Lee?
It was Dr. Wolfgang, but going into turn 3, he went and made a big mistake and went a bit deep and almost put himself into the wall, actually. I think after that...
It's Dark Stomper, I think.
Dark Stomper, yeah.
We've seen Dark Stomper coming over the Anderson Bridge now, really struggling for power. It is a very tricky circuit here, especially in the wet, with these conditions. Welcome everyone who's joining the stream tonight. Make sure you put some comments in the comment section about what you think about Singapore, for example, especially in these wet conditions. It's really not great for these drivers. By the looks of things, Dark Stomper looks like he's struggling somewhat. Still haven't had a time on the board yet. We've got a Renault on it, just coming in the pits. I don't know what happened to not Luke Beck there. I'm just waiting for the driver to cross the line, which you said I think is Dark Stomper. It is, with sorry, Dark Stomper, Dr. Wolfgang, with Dark Stomper close behind him at 156, 152.4 for Dark Stomper in the Haas, taking first place. Mars coming in second place, 2 seconds behind. Tim comes home in second place. Load of drivers just posted some laps very quickly in procession, with Mr. BT coming in third fastest now, and Bugs Bunny in 4th fastest. Rabbi coming in 6th Then God's coming in 5th place. We've got 9 drivers setting laps already with 9 minutes and 50 seconds to go.
Yeah, so everybody's just wanting to get it over and done with and try and get that banker lap in. As it may look like the weather might get worse, I'm thinking.
Potentially, we're seeing pink. Just seeing Pink Spartan coming out of turn 20 and 21 into 22 now, and he did have a bit of a struggle on the exit of 21, and now across the line to go 11th fastest, the 156.0, and got outlaps for Phoenix and not Luke Beck, who's just started his outlap and said the conditions may be getting worse, so we'll have to see what happens with these drivers. I wonder how many are on a double lap lead, because of course his Inters can easily do 2 qualifying laps.
Oh yeah, I mean the wet tyres go for a lot longer than the dry, I would say, a lot of the time, but I think the Inters 2 laps is probably the maximum for a qualifying lap anyway.
Yeah. No, I'd certainly agree.
Well, depending on if you're wanting Inter slicks or not.
Yeah. We're just seeing Mars come round the final couple of corners, but he hasn't got a time, and Mr. BT goes fastest now, taking off Dark Stomper. This is very interesting, with seeing the speed of Mr. BT at the minute. Tim has made a bit of a mistake by the looks things, letting some drivers go past, including Judge Santi, who is on a lap, with Fatality not on a lap. I know Judge Santi is coming in the pits. He was in hot lap, but wasn't on a lap lead. As we still see these bottom 3 drivers from 13th to 15th not set times yet, and all on outlaps, with not Luke Beck looking like the first driver to start his lap of the 3 who haven't set a lap yet.
It seems to be taking them nice and smooth through turns 1, 2, 3. A little bit of loss of traction there on the exit 3 into 5. Trying to stay off the curb as much as possible in these wet conditions. Round 6, up into 7. Want to be straddling that curb, try and get out as much as you could to try and be stable as possible. Round 8, out hairpin.
These conditions are certainly getting worse.
Oh yeah.
And,
oh yeah, see, some people are on the wets now. As Luke Beck's going to put in a time that's warranty to keep him in the top 10.
You still potentially could. There was obviously some of the drivers are up in the 152s, and if you got that sort of pace, you might be able to get in that 155 margin, maybe. So we'll just have to see. We don't know if these Inters are the quickest tyre now, Lee.
It looks like the rains came on quite quickly in the past couple of minutes, I would say. Ooh.
See Luke Beck scrape the wall of turn 17. Turn 17 into turns 20 and 21 now, and he's doing a bit of a Tokyo drift at Singapore to the final couple of corners, and hits the wall for good measure as well, and that will slow him down around these 2 final corners. And there we go, he stays in the position he was with a 1:59 dead.
Phoenix was a 2:03.3.
So the battle now really is for that 11th place spot for a lot of these drivers at the back of the grid. But of course, Dr. Wolfgang and Becker have got the advantage of having that intermediate time already.
Yeah, I mean, everybody in there have got their intermediate tyre, but with Rowe, I think he's going to be in 15th for the Oaks, but hey, shouldn't count the chickens before the hatch.
That is very true. And we're just seeing Beckett slide round and almost hitting the wall. He had a very slow half spin there. Was able to recover it. But just showing the lack of grip now out on this street circuit in these wet conditions. And just on his outlap, Beckett. And he was really struggling there out of turn 19, or even on the apex of turn 19. Couldn't get the car turned in whatsoever. He just started his lap now. But I highly doubt he's going to be any faster than this lap he's done before. And it's going to take some sort of miracle, I think, for these drivers in 13th, 14th and 15th to get any higher than where they are now. I think it is the battle for 13th between these three drivers.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get any higher. With the weather, they were just too late, to be honest. I think some of them invalidated and that, so it's a bit unfortunate, but we've still got that wee margin there, at least, to try and get up a couple of places at least.
Yeah, we've got 3.5 minutes left in the session. Sorry, 3 minutes, 10 minutes left in this session. Something caught
Just
you
on board
interested?
with Stomper there, coming over the Anderson Bridge on the exit, going into turn 13. Kind of lost it a little and looked like he scraped his wing, but there's no damage. He's lucky.
That was very lucky. He's on a lap on the intermediate tyres, actually, which is rather interesting, as we all thought it potentially was in the wet, and you see him struggling with the traction on the exit of the corners there, really trying to fight with the car to get the power down, but obviously I don't think those intermediate tyres are the optimal tyre at the minute, Lee.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, he's sliding all over the place. He tries to come across the line to go faster. He doesn't. He's 12 seconds slower than he was, Lee.
Wet tyre. Seems still loads of people coming out.
I think they're just testing the conditions, Lee, with a minute and so to go. That's what I would do if it's going to be like this into Q3.
Possibly, but you're not really want to waste a good set of tyres. You want to have them as clean as possible, don't you?
That is true, but they do last a long time, these tyres. And the wet conditions are very different to dry conditions with your skill, of course. So tyres don't always come into play so much.
So we've seen a few people tyre already. Oh, just as you see it, Tim's spun around a wee bit, eh?
Yeah, well, Tim was struggling earlier on. It's a McLaren 3-4 at the minute, so it's looking good. Fuller Woking outfit with Tim not looking so good around these final few corners. Really struggling in these conditions and giving it a big old tank slapper in the final corner. Into the pit lane he comes now with 50 seconds left to go. Got Rue on an outlap, and he could move himself up. Obviously, it's not been a very good day for Red Bull. Looking like he could only get 13th and no higher than that in these conditions now, realistically, as you see him struggling through turns 2 and 3 on the exit there. He's just fighting the car with the oversteer all the time, just trying to be as on the edge as possible. If you want to just take us through the last part of Rue's lap, Lee, with 5 seconds to go in this session.
Route. See, where is he?
He's in 15th.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, getting a wee bit of slip of traction there. Getting in nice and tight. But he's not being able to get fully on the power. He's always got that wee bit of hesitation with the looks of things. You see, he nearly spins the car around there coming out of turn 13 there. That was a wee bit of a close one there. Into turn 14, still taking it quite slowly. Still quite hesitant. I think by the looks of it, it looks like the conditions have got a bit too bad now, so they not able to go any quicker than P14 by the looks of things.
He's just about to come across the line now. He does. He goes 13th fastest and 58.3 and puts not Luke Beck down. And he has invalidated his lap time, so he's not going any quicker. We've got Beckett on a lap, but I don't think he's going any quicker either. He's going to be starting 11th by the looks of things.
I would say if it was a dry quali it would be a good place to start, but when it's a wet quali it isn't. You've not got that tyre advantage over the rest of the field up front. Oh, you see Beckett spinning across the line.
I didn't actually catch that. We're just waiting for Luke Beck now to cross the line. Would you just take the final... Oh, we see a big crash there across the line actually from the AIs taking over there. Sorry.
I just seen that there. So let's see. In first place we've got Mr. BT, Dark Stomper in second. Third is Tim. Fourth, Bugs Bunny. Fifth, Judge Santi. Sixth, Gods. Fatalities in seventh. Mars 8th. Rob is in 9th. 10th is the Pink Spartan. And then the drivers who are not going through to Q3 is Beckett, Dr. Wolfang, Rue, Not Luke Beck and Phoenix.
So we'll just be along with Q3 in a few moments time, and that'll be a 12-minute session. Of course, we're going to have a free choice of tyres in the race now with a wet Q2 at least. So that'll make it a little bit more interesting, potentially.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, you see loads of different, you could see possibly people starting on the hards. In the top 10, I mean.
Yeah. You can see that now, actually. That is a very good point. So we'll just wait for these guys. It's looking a little bit better, the conditions. Maybe, I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait to see when they come out of the garage. They are still on wet tyres, actually, so maybe not. So we're just seeing these drivers come out. Actually, the conditions have got far worse, so it really is going to test these drivers now, I think, though.
Oh yeah, this is where you tell the drivers from the real drivers. To be honest, the conditions when they're like this, and by the looks of it, it looks like people have got dry setups on as well, so with them slipping around as much as they have been.
Potentially,
so,
we don't actually know what the conditions are going to be.
No, we don't. But I've noticed a lot of people have been slipping and sliding. It's like not as much traction as a non-stick frying pan.
Good analogy, Lee. Good analogy.
So yeah, it's just not looking like you can't get the boot down, you know. So everybody's having to take it easy. So who is going to be first? Let's see. I think it's Dark Stomper, isn't it?
It's looking like it could be Dark Stomper, yeah.
He's first out. He's just going for it now.
So we'll just have to wait and see for these drivers to come out on to go on their laps. So on their out laps at the minute, bar 2 different drivers. So do we still think Dark Stomper is going to get pole here, Lee, crucially?
I mean, he has been quite a relentless force. So,
yeah,
most likely, I would say. But it's one of them, we'll have to wait and see in the moment.
We'll have to wait and see. We've got Bugs Bunny starting to come across the line now. We've got a few other drivers on their laps. We'll have to work out who's the first man on his lap. Looks like Dark Stomper, I think, is the first man on a lap, so we'll stay with him for the time being, and we'll follow on who comes behind him, which I think is going to be the Williams of I think it's the Williams of Gods, it must be, yes, because the Pink Spartan is in the pits. We've got a Mercedes of Rabbi as well on his lap. Just see. So what do we think the predictions on the pole position? We've got these new drivers with Mr. BT and Bugs Bunny putting in some pretty decent lap times, Lee.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen them put in few good lap times, but minding you, the weather was changing, so some people with the more higher downforce sort of prevail a bit more here.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll
see what Dark Stomper can do now, Lee. With 7.5 minutes to go, what time is he going to set? A 1:55.688 on those wet tyres, and we're going to wait to see what Gods can do on the end of his lap now with a 1:58.663. So he's a couple of seconds behind, 3 seconds behind even on Gods. We've got Mars coming around now, and a racing point of Mr. BT takes that preliminary pole position, a 55.617, a 688 for Dark Stomper. Tiny margins, Lee. And Mars slotting in third place with a 57.3. Bugs Bunny going into third with a 56.5. And they're starting to close up. You had Sansi coming in fourth. That was a good time for the Alpha Tauri driver. And Tim is the last man to cross the line at the time being. Goes 4 fastest. The McLaren 3-4 at the minute.
He was kind of slippery coming out of the last. Oh, as you see him near going into the wall at turn 3.
Yeah, just needs to be careful. Got the Pink Spartan obviously reserving for E Combo in the top 10 now, and doing pretty well for the Grove outfit in Oxfordshire, but on the streets of Singapore. He still hasn't set a lap in Q3, but he did get 10th place in Q2, so we'll see if he can improve on that order. He's doing quite a slow lap, the Canadian. Let's just see how he goes. He's going to be the next man to set a time. We've got Fatality still in the pit lane, and with time remaining, he's only going to have 1 lap on track, or maybe 2 laps on the same tyre with a bit of extra fuel on board.
Yeah, I think that's all he's going to manage. He's not going to manage to get in and get out completely. It's just too much.
It will be too much now. It's especially in the wet conditions. It'll be a tall order. In the drying, probably impossible, but definitely now it is going to be impossible. But we're seeing if Pink Spartan can do the ultimate lap now, but we'll just see how he gets on in these conditions. I'm sure Iggy would be cheering him on as he comes round turn 5 onto Raffles Boulevard and just through the kink of turn 6 down to turn 7. Tentative on the turn in there. Lee says straddling the curve of turn 7 on the exit into turn 8. Be careful that wall on the outside, and he got a bit of kick of oversteer on the power there in these conditions, and he almost hit that wall as he almost hits the wall again there. It's so tight on margins here. You've got to throw the car into this tight twisty section towards the Anderson Bridge. Through turn 12 he comes now. This corner not that easy in the wet and not in the dry, to be fair, as well, but certainly ups the ante in the wet conditions. And around turn 13, pretty smooth on the power there. Gradually moves himself over to the left hand side, going into sector 3 now, late on the brakes. 1:17.6 in sector 2. Just going around turn 15 into 16, so close to that wall on the left hand side. Take a lot of curb for turn 17, get the car right against the wall into turn 18, and he goes deep and hits the wall. Oh. And I think he just turned in a little bit early there, and it just put him off, and he didn't back out of the turn early enough, I don't think.
No, it was I think he just braked that bit early and just misjudged it completely, and I mean, it's one of these things that happens in the wet. Sometimes you could end up aquaplaning pretty much.
So we're seeing Mr. BT on his outlap with Dark Stomper, his rival for pole position at the moment. And I think Dark Stomper might have known that was him, and he would have known that was him because it's the only racing point in Q3. So I wonder if he's starting to play the little mind games, Lee.
Possibly. Fun to see.
We will have to wait and see. Mars is 3/10 off the leaders. Magnus has joined back into the session with just enough time to spare. So we're just going to wait and see what Dark Stomper and BT, Mr. BT, and Mars can do. And Joe Santi isn't too far off. And I think the Pink Spartan has left this too late now in this session. He won't make it across the line. And with 1:50 to go, he's not even at the end of the pit lane yet. He just is now, and Mars has just come out of the pits. Unless our timing screens are wrong, which just happens sometimes, Lee, these drivers aren't going to have enough time to get round.
I don't think they will.
Got Fatality on an outlap. He's got plenty enough time to get his lap in. We've got Rabbi on a lap, and Gods. And Gods is in the middle sector. So this fight for pole position is pretty closely. We'll see if it can stay pretty close as we see Gods with the yellow flag there, and it looks like a McLaren. Is it Bugs Bunny, or are they're just queuing up to start their laps and just leaving each other enough space? We'll go back to Gods, who is on his lap. It said it was a purple sector 2, but as we know, the game can tell little porcupines as he comes into turn 15, and then 16 to 17 chicane, as you're seeing here, and getting right against that wall as always. It's Singapore, maximising every part of this track, even though it's quite a wide street circuit. sometimes, Lee, it really doesn't feel like it.
No, I got to agree there. Sometimes it's the way with the corners are at times. You know, it's like...
Sorry, Lee. Gods goes fastest. A 1:53.1. 2 and a bit seconds faster. 2.5 seconds faster than the next man, which is Mr. BT, as we're seeing on board now, who's coming under the grandstand. We're just seeing when the next driver is going to come across the line. Looks like it's going to be Rabbi, and he goes second fastest. This track is picking up speed, Lee. We're going to see Mr. Rabbi now come across the line. He's third fastest with his 55.6 to beat. Goes pole position for the time being, 51.5. We've got Dark Stomper, who hasn't invalidated, and he's up on his time, and by quite some margin. We'll see if he can take pole position away from Mr. BT. He does! 1:51.4, 1/10 faster than Mr. BT. Our championship leader is certain his authority, his dominance on this Tuesday night league, with Gods out in the wall trying to set a better lap time, and he's struggling there. Tim goes third fastest. We'll see what his teammate Bugs Bunny can do. Third fastest for him. And McLaren 3-4 again. This is going to be an inter-team rivalry maybe for the rest of the season, Lee. Fatality comes across the line, didn't set a lap time. Pink Spartan was able to get across the line. So these drivers, obviously, our timing screens were wrong, I think, Lee.
Mars is in the wall.
He is in the wall. I don't know what happened there exactly. I think the last man now to cross the line and set any sort of time is the Pink Spartan. This is where he made the mistake last time at turn 18. He has done better than what he did before. What he needs to do is get these final few corners right. Commentator's curse. And then some. Mars disqualified from the session for parking in a dangerous location. Pink Spartan's going to start 10th without setting a lap time as well. And that puts Mars down to 10th. The Pink Spartan up to 9th. And Fatality also didn't set a time. And I assume he invalidated all his lap times. But Dark Stomper takes pole position under the lights at Singapore, and our championship leader still cannot be dethroned in qualifying at the minute, Lee.
Nope, he seems to just always have that one lap pace to just get it done, pretty much.
He has definitely got it done. We're just waiting for Gods, I think, and there we go. That was the end of the session. So it was a good result from McLaren, 3rd and 4th, Lee. Couldn't really ask for much better.
Yeah, I've just went and heard from news. Mars' wheel shut down mid-lap. That's a bit unfortunate. So let's see, we've got Dark Stomper in first, Mr. BT in second, Bugs Bunny third, Tim in fourth, Gods in fifth, Rob in sixth. We've got Judge Santi in seventh, Fatality and Pink Spartan, who didn't set a lap, they're in eighth and ninth. Mars, who got disqualified, was in 10th.
So now we're just going to get into the race conditions now and see how we get on. I don't know what sort of conditions it's going to be. They did take a while coming out of the pit, but I'm not sure if that was just because it was a wet qualifying session. It looks like it's going to be a dry session to start off with anyway, Lee.
Yeah. I have that feeling it may be wet, though I'm not sure.
I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, we do have 20 drivers tonight, and they're just doing their strategies. And of course, they've got free tyre strategy. That's why no one is readied up as of yet, Lee, because they've all got free choice. And I don't think anyone's really going to be in a rush, especially around Singapore.
Oh no, because it does kind of wear your tyres out, so you need to find that perfect strategy. Like sometimes like the softs will just shred. But already.
Yeah, we've seen Wolfang ready up. Was the first man to ready up. So yeah, we've got a few people. We've got 5 seconds left until the start of the formation lap. And there we go. Let's hope everyone got their strategies ready to go. See Dark Stumper on a pole position. Lee will go through the tyres, shall we, Lee? As everyone's got free choice. No one on the hard tyres, Lee.
Oh, everybody's soft or medium. Is this maybe saying something here?
This could be. If anyone's got a chance for a second, put in the comments below. Are we going to have a wet race? Any part of this race be wet? We've got Mars who's left the session. Could you please give him a message quickly, Lee? Just telling me he'll have to join back once it's started now. I'm just going to wait and see. We've got Dark Stomper, who is quite far ahead of everyone else. Very strange decision. He's going to have to slow down eventually, but his pack is pretty spread out. So we're getting some comments coming in there. I'll check that one out. Oh, so we're having a dry race though.
Oh.
That is most certainly interesting. Obviously, we've got 31 laps to run this race. This is usually the longest race of the season. Obviously, we've had Texas on the calendar, which was last week. So we had the longest race last week and the second longest race this week. And Dark Stomper is now slowing up the pack to let everyone catch up. And we've got Magnus, who is quite far towards the back. You right there, Lee?
Controller fell. I was sitting on my knee.
We will just wait for these drivers to ready up. Did Mars reply to you?
Nope. Oh. Yeah. 2 seconds, it's alright.
So if anyone's watching, be careful. Mars is an AI car for the start of the race. Can give lag out of the session. Let's hope it doesn't cause too many issues into turn 1. Just waiting for these drivers to form up, and Mars has left the session again. Didn't realise he'd actually joined back, as we're going to see, and the session is getting underway. Obviously we're seeing these lights go out, but this isn't the right light, as we always know. Mars has actually done a jump start. Drive-through penalty for Tim for jump starting, and we're away in Tuesday night racing at Singapore Grand Prix. And Mr. BT didn't get the best of starts against Dark Stomper. Mars is out in the lead for whatever reason. Yet the yellow flagged safety car, virtual safety car, sorry, has been deployed. H. Bosworth is at the back. There must have been an instantly.
I didn't capture that, to be honest.
We've got a load of penalties that have come up here, Lee. 10 seconds for God.
I think that would just be with everyone ending up with, what do you call it, with it being the start of the race in the VSC.
Not too sure what happened there, but a lot of people are now suffering with some 5-second time penalties and 10 seconds for gods. So we're going to see what happens now. Mars is in the lead, but obviously his car is struggling. Meep has moved up quite a few places. He's up to 14th now, Lee, and these drivers are all fighting up towards the Anderson Bridge, with Beckett being the front driver of the lot. Magnus is up a position on not Luke Beck, and Magnus is now looking on Meep. Meep obviously shuts the door with Magnus coming from so far back. Yellow flag again, and Mars is now been spun round. Is Mars joined back in the session, Lee?
think so. Oh yeah, he is. That's what he's doing. I think he's just letting people pass, but he's doing it dangerously.
He's going to get disqualified if he's not careful. He needs to just get on with it. He's now just stopped on the track. And he needs to just get on with it. Got Phoenix coming around now. And obviously a lot of these drivers, I said already got penalties. Drive through for Tim. That's going to drop him right down the order. Second in the championship at the moment. And going to be falling right to the back of the field. Dark Stomper is starting to pull out quite a gap, Lee.
Yeah, I mean 2.3 seconds already just on the first lap. That's quite the gap.
That is
especially just after one lap.
Quite a gap. We've got a move here from Fatality on the inside of Rabbi at turn 7, and he gets the move done. Good move from the Ferrari driver against the Mercedes. Got the Williams of Gods with that 10-second penalty, sticking his nose in and going down St Andrews Road now and towards the Anderson Bridge. The left-hander first into the right. And, Gods right on the back of the Mercedes of Rabbi.
Just there, I was just picturing Massa again. That lovely pass that he done across the Anderson Bridge.
Yeah, that was I remember that overtake. That was a spectacular overtake. We've got some very close battles going on. Obviously, Fatality has now been released, and you can already tell that is the case. As he is definitely starting to create some form of a gap against Rabbi. I'm going to try and catch up to Bugs Bunny on his debut in Tuesday night in 3rd place at the moment, with the debut of Mr. BT in 2nd place as well, Lee. Looking really good for the debutants.
Oh yeah, I mean they're actually coming in and just stamping their authority pretty much.
Magnus is down the order and he's been spun round. I don't know what happened there, we didn't catch it. Got Tim coming around the final corner and he's got to be careful. And he's really struggling to get the car turned round. I'm not sure if he's just got any damage from touching the wall there. We've got Rue,
no, he's not got.
who's falling down the field. Wing damage for Rue. It's not looking good for Red Bull. And,
and Magnus is around again.
He hasn't got any damage, so at least he doesn't have to pit. But of course, long race, he's still got the 20 drivers. We could easily have 1 or 2 safety cars around Singapore. That is most definitely not out of the question. 1.6 seconds separate the top 2, as you can see again. Magnus is really struggling. I think the frustration is definitely showing for yeah, and he's still struggling. He just needs to get those tyres cooled down, and he's almost spun again. He keeps half spinning. He's going to lose a position to Phoenix soon. He hasn't even got any damage.
Rose spun again, I think.
No, Magnus is spun again.
Magnus as well. Red Bulls are not looking good today.
They are not looking good at all. Let's hope he's got it under control. Magnus is spun again. When is he going to learn to be a bit more careful? Because all he's done is completely ruin his tyres. No wonder if he keeps spinning, he's not going to have any tyres left soon. As we see Judge Santi, who's got past Rabbi. Sorry for missing that battle. And we'll have to see Dark Stomper pull away once again. Seeing a few close battles out on track. Moving up a lot of positions, moving up from 19th place up to 11th. Got the bit between his teeth. Has the reserve Haas driver tonight, and looking for a move on Dr. Wolfgang. Phoenix is up and past Rue. And Magnus is around again. And he's just about to get lapped. We'll just see if he, he does. So, get back to the racing question. Not Luke Beck has made a move on Dr. Wolfgang because he has had to pit, and King Panda is in 13th with Mars just behind him. Obviously getting that horrible start with the glitch at the start. Lay on the brakes, hits the back of Panda, but was able to keep it in check, the pair of them. And no incidents between the two. Dr. Wolfgang still in the box.
And Mars has got past Panda there.
Yeah, and he's got the job done. Those soft tyres really not working for Panda. He's struggling by the looks of things on those soft tyres, with the Pink Spartan moving up to 8th now, and got Rabbi in the Mercedes in his sights, using the middle of the track there, maybe just to show the Mercedes that he's in his mirrors now, and he's going to look for an overtake very, very soon. Has there been an incident between Drismic and Panda? Not too sure. Didn't look like they were spun round potentially. I'm not 100% sure there.
Yeah, what's the gap there? It's quite a...
The gap. They have caught up. They have caught up to each other. Talking about gaps, Pink Spartan is very close behind Rabbi now, and Gods is in the wall at the pit entry and made a crucial and a catastrophic mistake. He's made a crucial error there, and he's going to have to change his front wing, and he's going to lose a load of places now. Obviously those... He's really struggling on his soft tyres. Panda getting a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. God's obviously got the 5-second penalty at the start of the race, and he's having to hold on in the box. And we'll see where he comes out behind. He's taken both of these drivers have been in the box for quite some time. Dr. Wolfgang's coming down the start finish now. Got Cods coming out of the pits. And these two are going to start into 15th and 16th. Rabbi is right behind Bugs Bunny now. Fatality has moved himself into 3rd place. Rabbi is definitely looking for a move on Bugs Bunny. And all three of them struggling out of turn 13, mate, and on this short DRS straight towards turn 14. And looks like the Pink Spartan's gone deep there, close not to hit the wall. A move for not Luke Beck, but Meep is coming back at him. He's going to have the inside line for turn 16, and they're going to go side by side through 17, and a good racing between the two of them. And Meep left him enough space there, just enough space. I'm sure not Luke Beck is not going to be happy about that, but at least he wasn't in the wall. But great battling between these two for 9th place. Bugs Bunny is in the pits now, and some of these medium tyres drivers are stopping really early. I'm not sure if he's got wing damage. And Lee Mars is on the inside of his teammates, and it looks like not Luke Beck has been spun round.
There was no contact that I seen. I think it was he just bellied out on the curb at turn 1.
And Mars is going to look for a move on Meep Show, and he's got the grip out of turn 5 through turn 6 of Raffles Boulevard and down towards turn 7, the left-hander. And Meep, as Lee just said, has got a broken front wing. There is a small train of cars here, Lee, from Rabbi to Beckett. Tim has just got past Drismic and moved up into 11th place. Who says that there's no overtaking at Singapore, eh, Lee?
You mean Well, look, I was just watching the highlights. I think it was yesterday actually, or the day before. I think it was the 2012 or 2010.
Roux has
out.
retired of the race. Virtual safety car has been deployed. Really not a good day for Red Bull from start to finish, Lee. And both drivers are now out of this race, and there's only 18 drivers remaining.
Might see a few guys in the box, maybe. Yep,
Yeah, well,
one.
Fatality. That might have been a good decision from Fatality, especially if this VSC stays out a little bit longer. If it stays out another 10 seconds, 15 seconds, he's tying that to perfection, Lee.
Oh yeah.
And he's out of the box now, and I would say he's tying that to perfection. With the virtual safety car still being out, he needs to be cautious on pit exit, not to exceed his delta. Drive-through penalty for Fatalities. The pit. Oh no! As the as the VSC ended, he came out the pit and must have been over the delta, Lee.
Right, I'm gonna say that's BS, to be honest. I honestly hate that. The amount of times I've seen people being caught out by that, and they need to get it sorted, to be honest. Because I think that's an absolute joke. It takes you from, it starts your time where as soon as you exit the pit lane, where you could start getting back up to speed. But it doesn't show you the time until you're across the pit exit line, like at the end where you rejoin the track. So
sorry, Lee. Tim is on the inside of Drismic, and they're going side by side through turn 6 of Raffles Boulevard around the outside. Tim goes and gets that place off Drismic and up into 13th place, and got Panda in his sights just a few hundred metres up the road. Go on, Lee, as you were saying about this drive-through penalty nonsense. Sorry, Lee, actually I won't talk about that yet, as there's been a yellow flag. Looks like Beckett has got wing damage, so he's going to have to pit. He's on the soft tyres, so it's not going to hurt him so much, but it's really not what you want with Fatality coming in close behind, and he's not pitting yet.
I think he might be trying to get in a few good laps first and then jump in, so he could hopefully jump a few people.
Well, let's see if that is the case. Seeing Beckett in the pit, medium tyres and a front wing change, of course, for Beckett. And Bugs Bunny has moved up to 9th. Meat has moved up as well. Gods has moved up with, of course, that collision at the start of the race into the pit lane.
There's a race at the exit of the pit lane between both Alfa Romeos and Tim. Beckett and Tim collide. And I've got another wing damage.
Who has Beckett?
Beckett, yeah. They were both going outside this side into turn 3.
Well, it doesn't look like Beckett has any wing damage.
No, he doesn't now, but he nearly did.
I thought you said he did. And Drismic is just on the back of that queue as well. Hard tyres for Gods. Phoenix 3 second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. Sector 2. Oh, Dr. Wolfgang is out. That could be a safety car. It's not. It's a virtual safety car. We had this last week with a load of virtual safety cars, but he's gone out in a really bad place. They've all got to be careful, because this could make it a hell of a lot worse for a lot of these drivers. They're all being careful through here, actually. So fair play to them. Got Harry coming through. He needs to be careful. And that's it. So now we've got 17 drivers left in this race. Obviously a virtual safety car is deployed into the pits. A lot of drivers now. The top runners still have not pit, and obviously want to talk about the front two. Dark Stomper is starting to edge into the lead, and the Pink Spartan is now into 3rd place there, not stopped yet. Virtual safety car has ended. Fatality is in the pits, and of course he's doing his drive-through penalty. Or is he? I think
He's still got it.
He's still got it. He came into the pits with the VSC deployed.
Oh.
Mars is on the outside of turn 7. There's 3 drivers fighting for 6th place, with the McLaren in the lead group of 3, with the Mercedes at the rear of this group. I don't know what happened at turn 7. Sorry, we didn't catch it. But we will try and catch the rest of this battle ensuing between these 3 drivers. And definitely Fatality's having the worst of luck still with that drive-through hanging over his head. But of course we've had 2 VSCs and we're a third of the way through this race. And could easily see a safety car still, Lee.
Oh yeah, there's still plenty of time. I mean, there's still 20 laps to go. So that's 20 laps worth of chance of a safety car. I mean, if there's already been 2 VSCs, then odds are safety car is going to come out at one point.
I would happen to agree with you. We're seeing not Luke Beck into the pit lane, and he's pitting and got a time penalty hanging over his head as well. Fatality goes through. Still hasn't served his drive-through yet. I think he must have to do it this lap would be my guess. Gods goes through into 9th place. King Psycho Panda is coming down the start finish along with Beckett. I think this is going to be a fight out the pit lane, Lee. Actually, no, I don't. I think it's going to be a fight with Drismic out of the pit lane. And there's not Luke Beck, there's Phoenix. No, actually, not Luke Beck. It's going to slot in between Drismic and Phoenix.
I think Phoenix has been attacked and he's got mediums that are already at temperature road. Luke Beck is on the hard and he's got TNR. He's not going for it yet, he's hanging out.
We've got the two Haas drivers, believe it or not, very, very close together, but at the complete opposite end of the field. Not seeing any blue flags as of yet from Meep. But I'm not sure how Meep has got himself all the way down into 17th. And he is being shown blue flags, so I don't see why he would want to hold up his teammate.
I think he's actually in first. I think he's in first because he's not pit yet. Neither is the Pink Spartan. That's a curious one.
This is very strange. So maybe it's Codemasters at his very best again, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think that happened yesterday, did it?
It did, yeah.
As well, for some reason. Oh, as you see, Phoenix has just got the jump on Fatality there. Who I think was just serving his drive-through.
He has, yeah, so I'm sure Fatality, yeah, Phoenix is letting him by. And Phoenix is going to, Fatality is going to have the bit between his teeth now to try and catch up. He's got not Luke Beck, not too far ahead of him, Lee.
I think he could do it. I think he could get up till...
He could get up to like 7th place, maybe.
Possibly. Maybe even more, depending on how these tyres run for him.
We'll have to see. There is a big queue of cars, though.
I think he could do a double soft.
We've got quite a big queue of cars, actually, with not much separating. Though all of them, Drismic and Phoenix are the closest drivers on track at the moment, along with Fatality and not Luke Beck, who are also very close together. I can imagine Fatality is going to make some sort of attempt of an overtake, and he's got these few drivers ahead of him, Lee. So, Drismic getting super close to the back of Panda there, and almost having saving their batteries really well. That would have been because of these VSCs as well, helping them along, Lee.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, that's one thing I'm not very good at a lot of tracks. Just depending on what one it is. I'm quite, let's just say, greedy with my battery.
Yeah.
And it's usually just sitting at the 10% mark for like 70% of the race.
And sorry, fatality. Looking to the inside. Look to the outside. Look to the inside, and he takes not Luke back off into the wall, and it was a ballsy move.
Meep.
He's out of this race. I don't know what happened there. Yellow flag.
He's retired.
And not sure what's going to happen now.
Easy look back. Oh, you didn't get disqualified. Nice.
That is good, but I don't know what happened there. It was fatality going for some really ballsy overtake there, and he tried the dummy, and I'm sure not Luke Beck is going to report that to the stewards, Lee, and it's going to be a strange one to deal with, I think.
Yeah, well, it's one of them. We'll wait and see how plans out.
Dr. Wolfgang has left the session, Lee. You might want to get a... Oh, no, sorry, he's out of this race. I do apologise. Not Luke Beck is retired from the race. Safety car is deployed. Would you send not Luke Beck a message, please, mate? If you know what I mean. And just send me a screenshot afterwards, mate. And yeah, double stack for Ferrari. Phoenix is now moved down to 14, 15 drivers left in this race at half distance. Really struggling with the track, a lot of these drivers, but it is going to close the pack up now.
So this is going to be heaven right now for a lot of drivers who are quite a distance back.
Mr. BT has gone through. Got a lot of comments coming in actually, Lee. And we've got Mr. BT who's now leading this race on the hard tyres. And we'll see what happens with the restart. Of course, it'll be his first restart in LFR. It'll be interesting to see. So obviously we're just waiting for the safety car to bunch up. We've got some position changes again with fatality in the pits. Obviously this is a bit of a godsend for fatality, Lee.
Oh yeah, he's managed to get back into this battle now at least, so we'll see how things go. He's on the medium compound tyres, so they should last him to the end, I would suggest.
So we've just got some drivers talking in the comments about a couple of incidents we didn't get to see on the stream.
I don't know, I'm just sorting up.
No worries. So we're on lap 16 of 31. You're watching Limitless DxT coverage of Limitless Formula Racing Tuesday night racing round 16. The Singapore Grand Prix. We've got Mr. BT in the racing point, in the lead of this race, followed by our championship leader, Dark Stomper. And we predict that the safety car will be in at the end of this lap. And this may be a fight to the end, especially on pit stops. We've got Mr. BT on the hard tyres. We've got a few drivers on the hard tyres, but he's going to have to hold up some serious form of defence, Lee, against Dark Stomper on the softer, newer compounder tyres.
Sorry, I lost paying attention there.
No worries.
I wasn't.
Are you talking to the not back, are you? Would you send me a screenshot, please, bud? And so we're just seeing Mr. BT, I say, in the lead of this race for the first time today, and opting to stay out and restart the safety car. If we're going to have safety car in, we'll know in around 5 seconds time as we're coming up to the sector 3 timing line, which is where the safety car will say it's coming in, but it's not just yet actually, with some drivers still not caught up just yet. We've got fatality at the back, so looking like we're going to get underway on lap 18.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, this is going to help the medium runners and the soft runners, to be honest. This is going to help them as much as possible. As to the hard runners, not as much. I think they've possibly went on the wrong choice of tyres, to be honest, but I could be wrong. Just have to wait and find out. Do you see Dark Stomper? He'll be able to get them tyres up to temperature quite quickly compared to Mr. BT. But it looks like they're both trying to keep as much heat into them as possible.
That will be the key now. I'm sure it will be at the end of this lap with fatality coming on the final 3 corners now, and we'll comfortably catch up to Tim, who's just coming into turn 1 now, so he'll catch up within the next 10 seconds, will be my guess. So we will be getting underway at lap 18 of this race. So 15 drivers left, Lee. What do you think we're going to see for the last 13, 14 laps of this race?
I honestly do not know, because it's been it's just been a total mix-up this whole race, to be honest.
Well, we've got fatality at the back. We're not sure how far he's going to go through. See how far he can get through the pack, and of course Tim as well down there. The McLarens were looking so good at the end of qualifying. Just shows that there's no points on a Saturday. No points on a Saturday yet, Lee. In a few weeks' time, we will see qualifying sprint races come to life. So there will be points on a Saturday. Only 3, but there will be points. Anyway, just a quick topic before the safety car comes in, Lee. Are we going to get the sprint format in the F1 2021 game?
Oh, I hope so.
I do as well.
That'd be good. I would like that, actually.
It would be a long time though, obviously, with the quality. Hopefully we might be able to mix it up. 5-second penalty for a collision with Judge Santi. Pink Spartan getting too close to the back of the Alpha Tauri driver. So it's all up to Mr. BT. Now, when he goes, the pack goes, and he's coming round towards the grandstand at turn 19. Safety car is not too sure where he is. He's just at the pit lane now, so he can go whenever he deems fit now, I think. And he is going to get going now. I think, yeah, he goes. There was a little stutter, but that was a good decision there, I think. Just a slight stutter. It wasn't too much on power. But just put Dark Stomper off. I say put Dark Stomper off. He might be looking for a move at turn 1. And nothing for Dark Stomper just yet. Some moves in the back with Fatality, Phoenix and Bugs Bunny all having incidents. And Phoenix getting some wing damage there. And those two drivers really not their day at all. Yellow flag in sector 1. Bugs Bunny is out of this race. Not too sure what happened there. Would you send Bugs Bunny a message, please, mate? As we see Panda and Tim side by side at turn 8, and Tim looking like he's getting the job done. And H. Bosworth is very close to the back, and Dark Stomper is now taking the lead. Sorry, we didn't catch that a little earlier on, but he is now taking the lead, and I think Mr. BT might be vulnerable to other drivers. Joe Santi and the Pink Sparta are on the hard tyres. They will be more durable at the end. H. Bosworth is being overtaken by Drizmic, who I think is going to have to stop again, so he's on the aggressive strategy, and maybe there's not enough time in this race to get that aggressive strategy done and dusted. Beckett's moved down a couple of places, God's moved up, and Mars has moved up on those medium tyres. Looks like the medium runners are the most optimal runners. Mr. BT's really trying to stick with Dark Stomper, but as said, on those fresher and newer and softer compounder tyres, it's looking like it might be an easy job for him. Pink Spartan is in the pits, 5-second time penalty for him. He's retired from the race as well. We've now got 13 runners in this race on lap 19. It's been a high rate of attrition in this race so far. Phoenix has got a pit as well. Might see him retire from this race. Pink Spartan is left. Judge Santi has moved up on Rabbi. Not sure if there was contact there or not. Sorry for the slight audio mix up there. That was a very strange one. Phoenix has retired. We've got 12 drivers now. Everyone is seeming to struggle in this race.
That's a bit unfortunate, to be honest. We're full grid 12 drivers now. Hopefully
and Mars is spun round as well, but he hasn't hit the wall. He needs to be careful though with drivers coming through. And that was very close with Fatality just missing him, and he's got Panda just ahead of him, and he's really trying to fight with him to get that position back. Mars has got some ground to make up now, but he's not out of this race, nowhere near, because he's got no wing damage. He's certainly got the pace to catch back up, but I think he lost some momentum there with the dirty air behind him, Lee.
Sorry, messaging.
Gods.
Ooh, that's just...
Would you send me a screenshot again, please, mate? We've seen Gods getting close to the back of Rabbi, and so Drizmic is on that aggressive strategy. Tim looking at H. Bosworth. H. Bosworth has made some serious ground in this race from right down at the back of the field. He's now at 8th place. Obviously, the safety car safety car has helped him somewhat in that regard, but he's doing a pretty stellar job there. And Rabbi has been overtaken by Gods, wasn't able to hold up Gods any longer for that 4th place. He now drops down to 5th. Beckett's on the outside. Drizmic is round. Big crash with Fatality. It is not his day today. And another incident. These drivers are all having a bit of an off day, I must say.
Yeah, it's one of them tracks I would say it's There's either no instance at all, or there's loads. To be honest, there's no in between really.
Yeah, because it wasn't as bad as this yesterday, was it?
Well, last week.
Oh, sorry, last week, yes.
No, I mean I think there was one or two, but that was it. I think, was it?
I can't remember. I'm not too sure. Feels like ages ago.
It does, to be honest. It's weird. But yeah, let's see who's closest battle on track right now is a battle for 6th place between Tim and Beckett. Tim's going for the move with the aid of DRS, sorry, and excuse me.
He has got H.
He's just made the move.
He has made the move, he's got it done. Lee could not get his words out there, and H. Bosworth is going to try and get the moves out and going to move on. And we're now down to 11 drivers, and I think Driscoll will pit as well. We're going to be down to 10 in this race. This has really not been a good performance from these drivers at all today. Mars, as said, has now caught up to the back of the field. Dark Stomper is comfortably in the lead. Gods is really close behind Josanti for that 3rd place, and he braked late. Sorry for the glitch of the gearbox glitch there. It is an awful sound, and Gods is really trying to harass the back of the Alpha Tauri League.
Yeah, he's sticking in there, but with this being a hard track to get an overtake done, it's only the DRS zones that you could. He's just stuck there for the time being, unless you could make a mistake. Let's see, he's going for that. Oh, that's Rabbi into the pits now. So I'm expecting to see Gods go for the move here. Coming up through 6 and 7.
He has got the aid of that DRS, and he's going to have to go the long way round, and he gets the squeeze from Judge Santi. Good defending there from Alpha Tauri. He's going to really try and hold on to that 3rd place in this race. Dark Stomper is out in front as per usual, I must say, and Mars is now up to 8th place, got past Panda and trying to recover anything he can from that spin, and he's got a bit of a gap now to get up to H. Bosworth, but it can be done.
Yeah, it is only 3.6 seconds. It's not, still plenty of time to catch up to him. Who's next, mate?
No worries. We're just seeing Tim at the moment, but we're back with Gods fighting for this 3rd place in this race. We're on lap 23 of 31, and we're 2/3 of the way through this race.
No wonder I was starting to get a sore ear there. I was sitting on Mars there and you had the gearbox glitch. Ow.
Yeah, it's not very nice, and God still is behind Judd Santi, and he's really holding on to a good defence. This is the closest battle on track. I say that H. Bosworth has gone past Beckett into turn 7, round the outside for the Racing Point driver, up to 6th now, making some good progress. And Mars trying to catch up to the back of him. I think he's lacking a little bit of confidence with his spin. Can't happen around here, and you really just want to get to the end of the race, Lee.
Oh yeah, but then you've also got that you want to push, you know, you want to try and see if you could possibly gain the position. Of course as well, you've got penalties coming to it as well. So, yeah, I would, let's see, have a look at, how do you want to have a look at the penalties for the time being, for a moment?
Wow, everyone bar Dark Stomper and Jusmic have got penalties.
Yeah, so let's see, so 3 seconds for Rabbi, Marv, Beckett, Osworth and DP. 6 seconds, oh, Beckett's into the pits.
Beckett is in the pits. They're not going to fight with Mars. Interesting. So not too many laps to go. He's going to try and do a quick run on the soft tyres for the rest of this race. I imagine Gods is still trying to hunt down Judge Santi. He's going to have to go to the outside. Side by side they go. There's a squeeze on from Judge Santi. He actually pushes him off the road. The move is done from Gods, but I think that's fair enough, because he did get pushed off track there by quite a lot from Judge Santi. So I think that's a fair gain there to take the move.
I think it was, both of them were just playing a bit of chicken with each other. None of them wanted to give it up. But, yeah, it was a good battling between the pair of them.
And Gods has now moved himself up into 3rd place. And Tim is now starting to catch up to the back of these two as well. So it's really going to start hotting up for this 3rd place battle, Lee.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, Gods is on the mediums, so will they last until? I think they will, to be honest. I mean, they're only 8 laps old, there's only 6 laps to go.
Yeah.
That's still plenty of time. Plus, I think a couple of them were safety car ones anyway, so I've seen Tim catching right up to the back of Judge Santi now.
As well as Mars and H. Bosworth, same scenario going on there as well. For the back, oh, and Tim so close from hitting the wall. That was make or break for Tim there, and he was able to keep that on the straight and narrow, but obviously lost massive momentum there, trying to catch up to Judge Santi. And Mars now overtakes H. Bosworth well before the braking zone of turn 7, moves himself up to 6th place. As Lee was saying earlier, we'll have a quick look ourselves at the penalty situation. Judge Santi is quite high on the penalty spectrum there, Lee, with 8 seconds in the highest of the remaining drivers.
Yeah, and well, we've got Gods as well, who's got 6 seconds, also the same as Panda, and Tim's got 5 seconds, so it's one of them you need to be hoping either the person in front of you is going to get a penalty, kind of equal it up or something, or the car behind you, so you could just equal up that gap. You know, so hey ho, just playing game. If you're going to manage to get the gap or not, really. Because the closest battle right now is Tim and Judge Santi, but a bit battling like hell here.
Judge Santi's putting up a staunch defence. See Gods go through there, and he's going to have to put up a serious defence now against Tim, and wasn't able to cut in front of Judge Santi, gets the move done, and now we're going to see Tim on the charge trying to catch up to Gods. But of course, these two are only a second difference on penalties, Lee.
Yeah, I mean, technically you only need to get within a second of them.
And of course, he will know that himself, but I'm sure he will try and get the move done on track. He's got a few seconds to catch up. We've got some more comments, and we've got 20 comments tonight in total at the moment,
Somebody's saying, Rabbi, stick to FIFA. Ross Curry.
So, as you getting told, Rob.
So, guys, we're looking at this battle here for 4th place, with Judd actually keeping within touching distance of Tim. I don't think this battle's over, even though on the penalty scenarios we're seeing here, Judd is not in the running for that 4th place at the minute, but these two are on very similar age tyres, and I think Tim is struggling on these tyres actually. He may have the wrong compound towards the end of this race, and we're on lap 27 of 31. Drismic has joined the session.
I didn't even know he left.
I didn't know he left either, and Beckett is going to try and make an overtake on him. Drismic's going to need to get back in his car really prompto. And Dark Stomper is still out in the lead by 6 and a bit seconds. If Mr. BT is going to catch up by any sort of margin, this will now be the time. Those hard tyres will probably be a lot better than those mediums now, Lee.
Yeah, I would say, but you see Bresman just joined now. I mean, right now I would say the hards are starting to come into it. They're probably the quicker tyre right now.
I agree. You're seeing Dark Stomper on the raggedy edge there in turn 18 under the grandstand. So just waiting for some of these interval times to come in. We've lost them for a few seconds, but I'm sure when these drivers start coming across the line, once again they'll all sort themselves out, as they are starting to, but obviously it's going to take a little bit of time as the field has now spread out.
I thought it was just my screen that was messing up.
No, it's mine as well. We're just waiting for H. Bosworth to come across the line. So yeah, we're on lap 28 of 31. You're watching Limitless DxT coverage of Limitless Formula Racing, Tuesday night racing. We've got Dark Stomper out in the lead of this race, and something we're not disused to, I do have to admit. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel for more content on a Monday, Tuesday and a Sunday. And as I said, Lee said earlier, we do have over 100 subscribers now, and we do appreciate the support. And Panda not appreciating the support of Rabbi behind him. And on those soft tyres, he's really in prime position for an overtake on the Alfa Romeo driver, and it looks like he may have the momentum here. Maybe not actually, but he is a lot later on the brakes than Panda, and Panda's going to have to pull up a serious rear guard defence for this 8th place. Not looking at the penalty situation, second separates 4th and 5th, and Tim hasn't been able to make any sort of progress since overtaking Judd. And Rabbi, sorry, go on, Lee.
No, I was saying that's a bit unusual, so I guess that the soft tyres, the hard tyres, sorry, aren't the better tyre yet.
No. Looking like the mediums are actually a really good race tyre here. Oh, Rabbi, 3-second time penalty. He was really greedy on the curb there. And obviously that was one warning too many, and he's got himself 3-second time penalty. He slapped on to his race time at the end, and he's struggling out of these corners in the dirty air. King Panda, he needs to get past on these 5-lap-old softs against the 12-lap-old hards. This seems like a little bit of a no-brainer, Lee, but he's really struggling even with the DRS.
Yeah, it's a weird one with this track. I mean, sometimes it could be a piece of cake to overtake, but other times it could be just absolute tough as nails. So it's it's one of them, sometimes just stuff happens really, every race is different.
Well, we've got this battle for 4th place getting closer and closer now, and Mars is looking like he could be in a prime position to make an overtake or even 2 with a couple of laps to go in this race. So we might have some action into the last part of this race. Drismic has left the session again, and I'm sure he's going to lose that position to Beckett now. We'll have to see. I think he will lose that position. And I'm pretty sure he's going to now, especially down into the braking zone. And it looks like Judd has made a mistake or two, or Tim has put his foot down some measure with we're on lap 30 of 31. We're on the penultimate lap of this race. Mars is going to look for an overtake, going to have to go to the outside. Judd has always been defending at turn 7 to the inside, and he does the big squeeze again, and he's going to have to, oh, and it's tight there, and Judd keeps the position, and Mars is going to have 1 or 2 more chances to get the move done now, Lee.
Yeah, I mean, we've still got another whole lap to do it, but we're just going to wait and see how it goes. It's the closest battle on track between Mars and Santi right now, I think, is it? Although we've still got Rabin and Panda.
Yeah, Panda.
The battle out for 8th. So we've got the battle for 8th and the battle for 5th.
We'll stay with the battle for 5th for the time being, as Mars really tried to make an overtake, but I think Judd needs to be careful with not leaving space, because he's done that quite a few times to some drivers and doesn't really give them an opportunity to overtake around the outside, of course.
No, it's a bit difficult. It's just one of them things sometimes.
We're seeing H. Bosworth in the background as well, so this fighting, we're on to the last lap now. We'll keep an eye out for where Dark Stomper is, and he's at turn 8 at the moment, so he's got a while to go in this lap, so we'll be able to watch Mars and Judd Santi down this straight, and Mars has got loads of battery, and he's going to want to go to that inside line. He's got the grip, and Judd, he's just been so over aggressive, I think, there, and he's now got the inside line as Mars, and going to switch back for Judd, and oh, there's 2 of them side by side again, nothing to call between the 2 of them. We're going to see if Mars can get any sort of overtake done now, and he's struggled with that there. And I think that's going to be the end of the battle between them 2. We're going to see Dark Stomper now coming around the final few corners now. This man is definitely a champion in the making at LFR, because he wins again, and he wins the Singapore Grand Prix, and Mr. BT comes home in 2nd place for his debut race, and that is certainly some performance. Gods is looking like he's going to come in 3rd place. He does, and Tim is just about to come across the line now, which he does. Still has some time penalties to succumb to. Judd Santi goes through, Mars goes through as well. H. Bosworth jumps the pair of them, moves up to 5th place from 17th, Lee.
From where?
17th.
Oh, Jesus. Driver of the day then.
That was just what I was going to discuss. We haven't discussed that the whole race. So, yeah, 12 positions up was H. Bosworth. That is some doing from the Racing Point driver. And I think, as Lee said, oh, and as Rabbi comes across the line, spinning across the line, we're just going to wait for Beckett to finish his race. and he's just having a bit of fun on the old oversteer into the final couple of corners. So Lee, yeah, got a few seconds. So we're saying H. Bosworth, driver of the day?
I'd say so. Honestly, he's managed to keep his nose clean. Just let all the carnage just happen all around him and just squeeze through it all. You know, so that's the qualities you need to have. And oh!
No, I think he did that on purpose, just for a bit of fun at the end, which isn't a problem. He comes home in 10th place.
I thought he was actually going to crash out there.
There we go, driver of the day, Harry Bosworth in the racing point. And we'll just go for the drivers stand-ins. We won't have any interviews tonight, guys, as I've got to have an early night tonight. So hopefully we'll be back for that next week. But anyway, Dark Stomper did win that race in the end, and not something I am definitely not used to saying, because he's done that far too often, I would say, but not from his point of view. So at the end of that race, Dark Stomper wins, and from pole position, and he gets the triple header, the hat-trick, Lee. And Mr. BT comes in second, third Gods, fourth was Tim, fifth was H. Bosworth, driver of the day. Judd Sunty was sixth, seventh was Mars, King Panda was eighth, Rabbi was ninth, 10th was Beckett, and Drismic finished 11th in last. Fatality, Phoenix, the Pink Spartan, Bugs Bunny, Not Luke Beck, Meep Show, Dr. Wolfgang, Rue, and Magnus all didn't finish the Singapore Grand Prix. So Lee, that was one of the highest rates of attrition I think we've had in Tuesday. And I just thought so far through the season that probably wouldn't have happened, but it did.
I mean, kind of scared to see what's going to happen when we get to Monaco. Oh.
Yeah, talking about things like that, we'll do a little bit of plugging. We're going to have, unfortunately, we didn't have the Super League last week due to some issues with teams, and we're going to have we had a little reorganisation. We're going to have some potential meetings about it this week and see what we're going to get up to from this Sunday. But it's still happening, don't worry. We just had a week off to make sure everything was tip-top at the end. And yeah, so we're going to talk about next week, Lee. So before we talk about the Super League, because it's not all set in stone, so we better not make any announcements on that just yet. So we'll talk about the calendar quickly, Lee. Mexico, yes, so next week for Monday.
Mexico. Ooh. I don't like that track, because I am not very good at it.
And France, of course, next week for TNR. Of course, we had it for M&R last night, and I think it was quite a good race, to be fair, for France. So yeah, we've got next Monday with Curly and Meep, we've got Mexico. And with me and Lee on Tuesday, we've got France, and obviously back with the Super League on Sunday, but obviously keep you updated when it gets to Sunday about what is going on with that. So thanks for watching, guys. Please make sure to like, share and subscribe to Limitless DxT. We might have some podcasts coming up very soon. Got some ideas about maybe the end of season podcast for these two leagues, at least maybe something else, not too sure as of yet. But thank you for joining us for the Singapore Grand Prix. Sorry for the drivers for not getting interviews tonight. It's just been a bit of a busy bee at the minute. And anyway, thank you very much for tuning in, and it's goodbye from me and from Lee.